Welcome everyone to stop myself from saying Avatar The Last Airbender. Welcome to Legend of Korra, Book 1 Air. This is episode 3, The
The
Revelation.
relation.
Yes.
Of the Daleks.
Let's not beat around the bush. Basically, folks, from now on, until we say otherwise, start right at the intro. You know, the part where Tenzin starts saying the mantra of earth, wind, fire, and whatnot.
Yeah, we all know.
And let's begin in 3, 2, 1, click. So, yeah, basically, to reference stuff, with the first 2 episodes out of the way, the fan base were relatively okay with how the series was going. This is where pretty much I think, okay, after this we have like 2 more episodes to establish the core cast of this. And then the rest of it I think is just us going
If
through.
I remember correctly, this is the premiere of Azami, I think. Oh, there we go, too.
I'm not getting subtitles on for some reason. I'll just turn it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, the anti-bending revolution. The part where Korra said, I'm not oppressing you, you're oppressing yourselves. Classy.
I don't know. I think it's fine. This type of recap.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit lemon in tone, but it's not like he's jabbing at the episodes. So
Seriously, every time I see the words "the revelation," I keep wanting to put over it of the Daleks, and then the Daleks just come in and there's a sudden Doctor Who crossover.
Wait. How does throwing the ball to each other help you practice pro bending?
Oh, that's more of a warm
catch the ball.
reaction towards incoming projectiles.
Here we go.
Regardless of bending, that's what they do.
I guess.
Who are you? Yeah, you are.
Bootaka.
Oh, Joy. I can imagine already all the subtext that we're giving you.
So you're only going to have like one.
Why did you even bother?
Just so he could be a dick about it.
Yeah. Also, pet red panda.
Oh yeah. That's Pabu.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you don't accomplish this task that I'm about to give you, I will be forced to feed you to my giant pet dog. Because I definitely have one of those.
Oh no, if they don't get the money, they'll be out of the tournament.
Really, we're doing this kind of plot.
Why not dissolve the team or something? That sounds like a high stake for them.
You know, Dibs, that's actually a good point you bring up. Yeah, okay, it's established that, okay, Bolin is a better character. Mako, though, okay, Mako's a character who I can literally chalk up to percentages, and 25% of Mako's character is pro-bending. So, let's ask this question. Why do they need to pro-bend? It's clearly a drain on their income or whatnot. They could clearly just get jobs elsewhere. Like, pro-bending takes up most of their budget, as we just learned. So why is pro-bending so important to
why
them?
does this subplot even exist?
Oh look,
no, I'm
Zuko
serious,
statue.
Oh, great.
Alright, it's probably a good time to mention Bolin will be our Sokka for the show.
Except he's not funny.
Well, he gets better in later seasons. Ironically, in season 2.
And the red panda is the equivalent of Momo.
You could sum up this whole show like that, apparently. Well, at least from the 3rd season, wasn't it?
Was he dabbing?
Get it? Because Papu's a fire ferret.
Well, I guess no one else
I-
in this show thinks he's funny, so...
You see, the thing about it is that Sokka was the comic relief of the original series for most of it, yes. The thing is that there was more to his character outside of just being the comic relief. Whereas in Bolin, he doesn't really have anything to him aside from being the funny guy.
I will say this. Bolin starts off as being mainly the comedy relief, but he's a character who actually gets to grow and have more to his character, which is more than I can say for Mako, but I'll get more to Mako later.
Totally.
Well, I guess you need the work.
And the reason he needs to work is because of pro-bending.
Well, the arsehole came round and gave him money.
Okay, here's another thing.
Electricity bending for powering up a machine, I take?
Allow me. Okay, can I?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait, hold on, Pedro. Let's wait till we get to that scene, but I think I know what you're about to bring up. It's the power creep, isn't it?
So they know the way to the dark side now.
That too, Jova, but it's not so much the power creep that annoys me.
Go on.
Well, I guess, okay, depends on her perspective, I guess, but sure, I'll go. But hold on, is this scene? Oh, it's just immoral. Okay. Remember how lightning bending was like this secretive thing that only a few firebenders knew?
Mm-hmm.
And, okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. And now Korra can do it perfectly.
Because she learned in that pro banding match.
Off screen, apparently.
No, she learned in that pro banding match.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
here
it was
and now it's time to start up the romance.
Oh, wait.
joyful.
Korra likes Mako.
Don't kill the children.
It's okay, they're
Fair,
airbenders.
but-
Actually,
They're
Shira, if she killed the children, she would go up in my consideration.
Pedro. Those two were Janora and Iki. Milo was not among them.
I know, but I don't like them either, Jova. That's the thing. I'm sorry, I don't even like them.
Anyway.
It looks like they're walking in front of a green screen.
It's because of the questionable CGI.
And it's an
those things.
animated show.
Yes.
It does.
It's a joke.
Oh.
Yes, I know. I saw the last series.
Don't you see it's a reference that I guess Aang and company became popular since they each have their own statues.
Okay, I think. Okay, I think I know where Pedro's gonna go. Like, it's like now all of a sudden, everyone around, a lot more people can firebend. I guess over the
Lightning
years,
then.
people just learned how to do that.
Or
I
it
guess.
was fast selectivity, also similar to how all the cops can use metal bending.
Okay, look. Again, I'm going to dissect that a bit more.
Also, is that Noodle? I think Noodle from Gorillaz.
Shady Shin. Why not just say Shin Shady and make an Eminem reference?
Oh wow, the Triple Fets, the Red Monsters, and the Agni Kais.
Yes, I saw the original series. Now please do something good without resorting to referencing it.
Uh-oh,
Isn't
turf
it supposed
war.
to be a sequel anyway?
I know, but it should stand on its own as well.
I mean, look, I have no problems with
Yeah,
them
but
bringing
that doesn't
the...
mean you should completely avoid mentioning previous
No,
stuff.
I'm not saying it shouldn't tell, but you'll see, Pachi.
Oh,
Because Mula.
Heal, doggy, heal. Is that how it works?
Aw.
Don't eat the panda.
Hi there.
Instant bonding. Oh.
You know, maybe you should listen to the guy who knows a
yeah.
little bit about this.
Yeah,
Then fuck the dog.
but there's still one there anyway. So,
That's actually weird. What happened?
but they've escaped.
Oh. Motorcycles? Really?
Well, it's a turf war, so we
Airbending.
gotta be all gangster with this shit.
Do we also play
motorcycles?
do you play card games with those?
no, sadly they don't.
Welcome to Avatar GX. No,
I'm
wait, that's not the right-
I'm surprised.
That's not the
Uh,
right- no, wait, that's not the right
twins.
one, is it?
That's 5Ds.
Avatar 5Ds then.
I'm surprised they had to use grenades and there's no one actually gas banding.
Well, gas
seems to be-
bending would probably fall under airbending.
Wow,
there
so
seems
much
to be bending
CGI.
for every- There seems to be
Ugh.
bending for everything in this show. I mean, what's next? Car bending.
Well,
Metal
remember too,
bending.
we have a bigger budget this time, so
Yeah, but I think it's working for the worst.
Again,
Didn't the original Avatar
Well-
use very, very, very minimal CG at some point or another?
yeah, Avatar saved it for the big moments. Okay.
Oh, like, was the drill one of them? I can't remember.
Yes, it was.
Because I don't remember it standing out as much as it does here, but
And
maybe
I
that
think the blimps near the end of season 3.
Okay.
probably because it was used so minimalistically,
Oh,
but here it just doesn't look...
these guys know the pressure point technique.
All right. Now's the point where I bring up my issues with the power creep. These guys are chi blockers. Chi blockers a lot more common. Only Ty Lee can know chi blocking. Yeah.
Well, didn't the end of book 3 said she was going to teach that to the Kyoshi warriors?
Oh, yeah. Look, I have
And
no...
I guess they spread off and taught others, and I guess it kind of
Exactly.
spiraled
Okay.
from there.
I'll just say this. On paper,
Oh.
Oh. Good work,
Hi,
Mika.
doggy.
I'll just say this. On paper, the power creep alone isn't necessarily bad, but I will say it's how it's handled. As Pedro was talking about earlier, everyone can lightning bend. Here's the thing, though. With lightning bending, you had to be, like, incredibly cold and, willing to do some pretty nasty stuff. Like, only a very select few people of lightning bending did it. And that didn't have to do with just your ability. It had to do with being completely emotionless or whatnot. Whereas here, it's just something that people can do more for some reason.
Well, to be fair, Joe, if you were doing the same thing day in and day out, you get pretty emotionless too, so maybe it works there.
See,
Yeah.
See now, Dibs, that's a good reason. Here's the problem. The show actually does try to explain it. And I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but how they explain it? Bending...
Like, Java, the only instance where I would really agree with the whole power creep thing will be about the energy bending that happens at the end of book 3, which, from what you guys told me, actually does happen in these series too. So we'll see when we get to that.
Let me put it like this. The fact that more people can do the bending stuff isn't so much the issue. It's how it's used to kind of... Well, let's just say yes.
Okay, now I need to say something.
What?
I understand that for artistic value, you need to use different colors, but 5 seconds ago it was the middle of the night and now already it's dawn. Like, high dawn.
No one even
Apparently they've been chasing them all night, apparently.
Don't making it sound tiny details. It's not a big
wait.
The backstory.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think we're about to get 25% more of Mako's character.
Yes.
It's like a loading bar.
Turns out they used...
The characters.
Hold on. Let him explain.
He's got a brother.
And they're orphans, by the way.
Yeah, basically their parents died, all that shit. Yeah, there you go.
My parents are dead.
That's exactly it too.
Oh,
That's
and they
exactly
were
it.
And it
mugged
was
by...
for a firebender.
Oh, and by the way, he was 8. Excuse
Yikes.
me. So...
Okay, here's my problem with Mako's
Okay,
back.
having a dead
Well-
brother sucks.
No.
Okay.
Family.
The parents are dead.
See, here's my problem though. Mako and Bolin's past sounds cool on paper. Here's the problem: we never actually see it in a flashback. If this was the original series, we would see it in a flashback, but we're just told about this sometimes, and their past is never really explored. It's just mentioned sometimes over the course of the show when it's convenient.
Well, it does get explored in book 4.
That megaphone was made of ceramic.
That's a bit too late by that point.
Yeah.
The megaphone was made of pottery.
Let me put it like this, Jova. Considering the love triangle and the pro-bending subplots, here's an idea. Drop those and focus on that backstory instead. How's that for an idea?
I absolutely agree.
How's that for an idea?
Oh!
I guess they would if they had more than 12.
Oh my
episodes.
god, I almost forgot. Here I've been talking about the power creep, and I forgot the very instant of power creep. Okay, Tio, the fact that more people can do the spending stuff, that's fine. We're about to get a power creep that is going to blow your mind in this episode.
Muggle, what was the trope again?
Muggle power.
Muggle power! But anyway, actually, Debs, you bring up a good point. They only have 12 episodes, and yet they're wasting time with a sport that they never explain, and later on, there's going to be a love triangle that nobody likes anyway.
See, here's a problem a lot of people have with Mako's character. For one thing, it's instantly just, my parents are dead, I need to take care of my brother. Oh, okay, that's why I'm also gloomy and boring. But that's the thing, he's boring. He's basically Batman if you took everything interesting out him about. And yes, Tio, I mean it. He's even got the deducing thing.
Hold on,
Hold
hold it. Does it at least beat the shit out of people like Jason Todd? Because that would be a bit redeeming for me.
Depends. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But anyway,
Not just that, Jova. There's also the fact that let's use the original series as a comparison. In the original series, when we learned about how their parents' departure really was traumatic for Sokka, we actually see it in a flashback. We even see that that shot of the boats leaving, when it comes to Katara's mom's death, we actually also see that in a flashback. So we actually get to see all of the important stuff. In here, we're only told why we should care instead of being shown. Again, breaking the
Yeah.
most basic rule of storytelling: show, don't tell.
If
Now-
your name's not Cal, you're not coming in.
Ah, Kevin Michael Richardson, it's always good to hear you. But yeah, part of the reason it's such jarring here is like, well, the show not tell, that's one of the most rookie mistakes you can make. And these are from the people who made Avatar The Last Airbender as great as it was.
The original
I
series
think
used flashbacks a lot to explore the backstories of the characters. Remember, we had an entire parts full of flashbacks into Zuko's past, for example. And
I don't
Zuko's
think
my
it-
favorite character in the original series. Oh, and there's Amon. Oh, Amon.
Alright, here is officially our main villain. And let's just say Amon is quite possibly one of the biggest points of power creep issues I have with this show, tied into a zenith.
My main problem is that he's a complete waste of potential, but it will become obvious by the end of this.
Well, he's
this
voiced by
season.
Steve.
I think part of the problem was I think having the same two guys write the whole series was a bit of a mistake.
Not just that, Dwebs. Aaron, I hope I'm
Oh wait,
pronouncing his
hold
name
on,
right.
hold on, this bit. Oh, look at that! A firebender who extorted his father. Oh yeah.
And then he
They're,
burned my
they're
face.
seriously trying to bait with the fact that Amon is supposed. They're telling me, hey, maybe Amon is actually Mako's brother. Who knows? Yeah, not falling for this.
But
Yeah.
I'm more
wait,
bothered by
wait,
the
wait.
fact that he's coming off as Zuko
Teo?
2.0.
Teo, the plot twist that Amon is Bolin, I would prefer that over the actual resolution.
I wish, because imagine that Bolin, who's the comedy relief, is actually truly a master villain. That would have been a much better plot twist reveal. But yeah,
Honestly, Java, the way they're talking there now, if it was that the case, it would be way too obvious.
well, let me put it like this: just because something's the most obvious doesn't mean it's the worst. Although I'll put it like this, Tio, that was not the first thing the fan base thought of. No. The first thing.
A lot of firebenders are evil.
So basically, as you can see here, it's to establish a weird connection, though. Mako's parents were also killed by a firebender. Hey, you'd think. Now, I thought, when Mako said this, I thought, wow, so this means Mako must feel a great bout of trauma, seeing as how Mako himself is a firebender. Nope! No trauma whatsoever, just
No.
How can you hear him underneath that mask other than the microphone?
microphone.
Because Steve Blum Dwebs.
Okay, so basically, Amon here wants to usher in a new era.
Because the
And
spirit
equal-
talked to me.
There you go. See, guys, they'll make equality a reality. Huh?
Hold
Okay.
on.
But apparently they say, nah, that ain't
Here's the thing, guys. I'm actually seeing another parallel. Okay, but it's a bit tough to say this.
Go on.
War that exists and for centuries has basically almost worshipped the existence of a very powerful figure in the form of a single man incarnating the form of mystic powers, and then
There
comes
you go,
in.
Teo. That your theory is destroyed. Go ahead.
Okay, and then comes a new cult where a person. Hold on, give me a second.
So what's he gonna do? Execute the
Then comes a cult where a person, normal person, says that the spirits talk to him and the previous establishment needs to be destroyed as a result because it doesn't fit the standards of today. This is Islam, guys.
So basically, this is the guy who has the power to get rid of all bending.
Yeah.
It's basically bending permadeath.
Also, we
Also,
might need a seizure warning on this.
Also, Dibs, he also has the aside from being the two of them writing, there's also the problem that Aaron, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Aaron has the lead writer of Avatar Last Airbender, didn't work on this show at all. And it shows.
Let me put it like this. Aaron S.
Maybe he was too busy on like Voltron or something. Did he do Voltron? I don't know.
I think he did, but now he's working on a different thing. But I do think he.
Wait,
whatever.
he has the energy bending power?
Okay, Tio, it's not energy bending. If it were, remember, Tio, if it were energy bending, then we'd have the whole light show thing going on. But yeah, Amon just has the
Oh, no,
ability
no,
to
no,
take away bending.
He didn't do Voltron. He's on this new show called The Dragon Prince.
Mm.
Basically, lad. Aaron S.
So how are they able to take away the bending then?
That's a mystery, Shiroi.
I don't have a problem with like
Well,
mysterious powers.
at least they didn't went to the other fear that I have, the fact that they would have gone full Pokemon Gen 5 and saying having these guys say that all bending is to die when he's secretly a bender himself.
Nah, Tio, that would be incredibly stupid. But yeah, time is of the essence as we have to bend the steam out.
The ladies' one is over there.
God lost her.
Jesus, she was asking you a question. Now who's the psychopath?
What even is that weapon? A wrench?
Thanks.
Well,
Sorry.
All right, so but now it's Bolin's turn. Now, let me put it like this. Amon is part of the problem
I'm
with...
sure they're gonna kill Bolin in the third episode.
Let me put it like this. Amon has kind of... Well, okay, as some people have said, it's a case of Dragon Ball Z syndrome. Hey, a lot of more people can do this ability, so let's introduce this ability that completely negates it. By making more people chi blockers, and by giving some guy the ability to take away your bending when he so well pleases.
How was the... I can't remember. What happened to take away the Fire Lord's bending in the season finale?
Oh, and used energy bending.
Yeah, he used energy bending.
But here's the thing, Shuri. We know it's not energy bending because Amon didn't do the same motions that Aang did.
Right.
It's basically she blocking Shiroi, except he took she blocking to a whole new.
It's logical
level.
extreme.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's an evolution of the chi.
I will destroy your
It
chi.
is.
I'm not gonna block your chi. I'm just going to destroy.
I'm just saying, similar to how metal bending is an evolution of earth bending. Dead.
Again, seizure. Jesus.
You know, Teo, if you don't mind me, talk about that Muggle power thing you mentioned. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. entered a good point when in his review of this season. They're trying to make a main story about prejudice. You know, the benders are being prejudiced against the non-bender. Actually, show it. Show benders. You know, like harming non-benders. You know, show non-benders being denied some things. But no, we never actually see any of this so-called prejudice that's going on.
Yeah.
Again, the show just tells us.
Hold on, isn't it something that happens with the gangster against the shop owner in episode 1?
But here's the
that's just a one-off thing, though.
Not only that.
You asked something.
Well, here's the thing, though, Teo. The police who are benders came to deal with it just fine. So
exactly,
maybe if the police were, looking the other way, but no, I mean that's not how it works. That's like if the civil rights movement was against the police, who actually did help black people. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, if you want to tell this kind of story, you gotta show the dirty details.
Yes. Yeah, I understand that it's might be uncomfortable to write it, but, well, you're the ones who brought that up.
The original show went into about...
Thank you.
I mean, come on. The original show had literal ties to genocide, a villain who was willing to wipe out an entire nation. Come on, where are those guts you had?
Different writers?
I know that Disney used animals as a metaphor, but they still showed
the prejudice.
The characters being prejudiced in Zootopia.
Again, folks, I'm sorry if it sounds like we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but actually, no, we're not, because this is the very revolution. But again, it's before we even see any bouts of bad deeds being done to the non-benders, and this is supposed to be their take on something like the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Okay, thoughts on this episode, Shirai?
Well, it's like everyone else said, we haven't seen any instance of discrimination, and yeah, there was the hostility with the shopkeep, but that doesn't really prove anything. That was like Jova said, general crookedness, really. I mean, if we'd seen some form of like racism isn't the right word, but you know what I mean.
Oh no, sure. That's exactly what they're going for.
Oppression. Go with oppression.
Oppression, yeah. If we'd seen anything like that, even like the most minuscule of thing, then yeah, this would make sense. But we haven't seen anything. The only thing we've seen is, people wanting a revolution against the Benders, but from what? You kind of need to show us everything first.
And
And I mean,
Closest,
they might
closest I
have
can
something.
imagine, Shiroi, is that the fact that, amongst other things, Amon mentioned that the things of bending has caused all the past wars. So,
Which
It's
is
just-
Fuck bending.
Well,
But
yes,
but okay, yes, it was. But by that logic too, they should also. Oh, let's abolish all weapons as well. Let's abolish any means of self-defense in general. I mean, might as well, right?
I
Um,
don't want to enter into that argument.
I'm
is-
not entering into that one either.
Well,
let me just put it like this. Lore-wise, it's completely ignoring the fact that the Earth Kings of the past, some of which who weren't even benders, also
I have a
themselves
way
started
to
wars.
explain it once Jova's.
Oh, go on.
You can't punish people who are living in the world currently for shit their ancestors did.
Seems like the father
Exactly.
much.
You can't do that.
Oh, it gets even worse.
Fuck.
so even that said, Shiroi,
I've
allow me to
seen
remind.
plenty of
And
shows
this
that
is
have done this
also
premise.
that's also another real world thing. You just can't do that. It's not their fault.
Allow me to reinforce what Jova said. Like Jova said, the mental bending cops showed up. They're benders, and they helped out the non-bender who was being assaulted by the benders.
And let me remind
the-
you, they tried to
so
arrest
no.
the Avatar, the most bendiest person ever, because she broke the law, which clearly shows they're not biased against non-benders.
Like, she didn't even get any special treatment for being the Avatar. It's like, no, you caused quite significant property damage. Yeah, you helped this person, but you kind of need to, pay your due.
You know what this means, right, Jova?
What?
There's a contradiction in here.
Oh, yes, there is. And don't worry, folks, the contradictions have just begun. But, okay, that's the non-bending stuff. So, Shiro and Tio, what do you think of Mako and Bolin's ever-so-present character?
I'm fine for now.
I'm fine so far as well. I mean,
True. I guess to be fair,
I
it's only
don't like,
episode 3.
I don't like because Sokka got pretty likable pretty quickly, especially after they cleared up his
Suspicions.
pretty major flaw. Yeah, but yeah, I don't dislike either of the two at the moment. They're fine.
Yeah, I guess to be fair, it's only episode 3. I'll let you judge more. Hey! Fun fact! Episode 4 is where the love triangle starts.
Yeah.
My
The one
favorite.
everyone hates.
Tune in, folks, because we're gonna get a special star actor from the live-action movie. Okay, Dwibs, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I know 3 episodes in, but wow, your mileage may vary. Page on TV Tropes must have gone into overdrive by this point.
You have no idea.
Babes, I'm pretty sure you should not stay away from that.
Yeah, don't go too deep in. We don't want you to spoil yourself, but yeah,
Yes, again, guys, don't worry. They have the thing that blocks out all the spoilers.
I do
That's
see what
not what I
Dwibs
meant, but whatever. Continue, please, because we're not dragging this out.
I do see what Dwibs means, though, because trust me, at this point, this is where people start to get split on the show. And trust me, as someone who is a big fan, I know what it's like. Well... And you know what? I'll let you guys judge for yourselves, but we're 3 episodes in, and I think we've established that Korra's in the town. There's supposedly bad stuff going into the town before she even noticed it. Pro-bending is going to be a big thing. In fact, pro-bending is the reason we got into this mess in this episode. And yeah, Amon and the non-benders are a thing. But, yeah, let's tell Tenzin about it.
And overall, the kind of premise they're going for, I mean, I've seen it before, but I've seen it done well.
And better.
Well, of course, it's just again, like we said before, Dwibs. You want to make a prejudice? Fine, fine by me.
But commit to it.
It's just that again, we have yet to see any prejudice. So this whole Muggle power thing is just okay. Remind me again. The Muggle power thing in Harry Potter, if I remember correctly, was fine.
It doesn't exist.
Well,
It's non-existent.
It's a trope namer, but it's just uses a terminology that's.
Okay. Never mind then. In that case, yeah, like I said, okay. And for I know that we're only on episode 3, so some newcomers might be saying, "Oh, maybe it starts happening in the following episodes." That's just the thing. I can't, if I'm talking about that something will not happen, that doesn't count as a spoiler, does it? Because
Nope.
because it doesn't. Like, we're never going to see any bender oppressing any non-benders in this entire show.
Well, there's one, but that's a whole nother problem in and of itself.
Is that like in the later season? That you
No,
mentioned?
it's no.
Oh, that not enough. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I agree. It's like, well, I said there is technically, but again, it's a technicality, and you'll see why.
Anyway, we're dragging this out. See you for the next one.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Alright, see ya.